Hello everyone. So this is the part 2 of interview questions. So we'll be covering the LT architecture, interfaces, events and protocol layers. So let's say explain the LT architecture. So we are having main network elements in the architecture is the first one is the E node B. Then we are having the MME, the SGW, the PGW, the HSS and the PCRF. So these are the important entities in the LT system. LT is sometimes also referred as SAE or System Architecture Evolution, or we say again SA is divided into EPC and UTRAN. UTRAN is a Universal Terrestrial Radio Access Network. So evolved UTRAN and EUTRAN, and then the core part is EPC or the evolved packet core, and entirely the UTRAN and EPC collectively called EPS, evolved packet system, or the SAE, System Architecture Evolution. So first one, the equipment we use or the laptop where we use the 4G system is called the UE, user equipment. That's the first element in LTE. Then we are having this E node B, evolved node B. We call it node B in the 3G. So in LTE it's called E node B. So E node B handles all the radio functions like RRM, radio resource management, radio source control, the scheduler schedules the transmission every 1 millisecond TTI, the physical channels, and all the radio functions basically controlled by the E node B. Then we are having the next nodes, that is MME, mobile management entity. In the control layer and in the user interface we are having SGW, switching gateway. Switching gateway basically act as an anchor point for user traffic or user data. Then we are having PGW, packet gateway, which allocates the IP address for each E node be allowed in the LT system. Then we are having PCRF, policy or charging related function is controlled by PCRF. We are having HSS, unlike in 3G and LT we are having VLR and HLR, we are having HSS here, wherein we can find the permanent user database, the SIM data, the authentication parameters in the HSS. So this is the architecture. Then we are having connection to the legacy networks like 3G and 2G. So this is the architecture. If it comes to interface, someone asks you the different interfaces used in LT. The first interface is UU interface, that is between UE and the E node B or the base station. Radio functions handled in radio interface or UU interface. The second interface would be between E node B to E node B, that is X2 interface. Then we are having S1 interface between E node B to MME and E node B to switching gateway. So towards MME it is S1 U represents user plane, control plane. S1 control plane is towards MME and S1 U is towards SGW or switching gateway. So S1 control towards MME and S1 U or user plane towards switching gateway. From switching gateway to packet gateway we are having S5 or S8 interface. Then from MME to HSS we are having S6A interface. From MME to other MMEs we are having S10 interface. From MME to SGSN we are having S3 interface. From SGW to SGSN we are having S4 interface. From PGW towards PDN or other operators IP network we are having SGI interface. From PGW to PCRF we are having S7 interface, or it's called GX interface sometimes. Then from home PCRF to the other, if you have secondary PCRF we are having different interfaces for that also. So these are all the basic interface. Then coming towards protocol layers, we are having in E node B side we are having different protocol layers like PDCP, we are having RRC, we are having RLC, we are having MAC, we are having physical layer protocols. So the same thing is there in the eNodeB side also. So first of all physical layer, then MAC layer, medium access control, then we are having PDCP layer, we are having higher layers like non-access stratum for authentication and ciphering purposes from UV towards MME. So these are all protocol layers present in LTE system. Then regarding the events, to continue the service of the LTE, like the handovers and the measurement events, so we are having 7 basic events used in LTE. Apart from that, there are other events also. The basic 7 interfaces are like A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, B1 and B2. A1 is for certain measurement of the base station RSRP, RSRQ or SINR, wherein we don't need any measurements. We don't need to do any handover. We are in a perfectly optimal coverage zone. Our coverage is okay, quality is good, we don't need to do the measurement for handover. A2 is the threshold of that bad coverage zone where we start measuring our neighbors to set up a handover in future. So A2 is that threshold wherein we start measuring the other frequency or the same frequency other neighbors, you know. So A3 is basically intra LT handover between LT different sales of the same node B or to the other in node B via X2 interface or via S1 interface if X2 is not there. So A3 is basically the neighbor cell becomes offset better than the serving. Then A4 is for inter LT measurements. For other frequencies of LT, we measure the other, let's say we are having F1 and F2, so we measure the F2 of the LT frequency. A5 is for inter LT handovers, so wherein we have one frequency let's say F1 of LT is becoming bad and F2 is better. So in A5 we do interfrequency handovers normally. So for inter and intra LT handovers we are having A3 and A5. Then B1 is the IRAT neighbor becomes better certain threshold, and you know, the serving cell signal becomes bad. So that is B1. B2 is IRAT handover, that means handover to other networks like 3G or 2G or CDMA 2000. So A2 is combination of A2 and B2 is combination of A2 and B1, that means serving becomes bad and neighbor IRAT becomes better. So these are all the events. So that's it for today. We'll be meeting in another session with some of the new questions, some advanced questions. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.